I've always helped people remember who they are and feel into their power, feel into what their gifts and their skills are. I've really helped people let go of what no longer serves them and transform that into fuel for their mastery, for them to shift their life into the positive. The magic happens when you can hear your heart sing. Literally hear your heart sing. I just want you to know you were born for this, that you have everything you need to really do you this lifetime. So let's get started. Let's make magic together. Hello, all you beings of light and love, all you miracle makers out there, all of you who know that you're here for something extraordinary, and maybe you can't put your finger on it, maybe you can, but you're here to do something extraordinary with the rest of us. And so I'm your guide, Joan of Angels. I want to welcome you. If you're new to the channel, we are so glad you're here. And if you've been on the channel before, then we just adore you because we love your energy. We love supporting each and every one of you to remember who you are and why you're here. And we do this because, guys, we are living in crazy times. Crazy doesn't even say it. And it requires us to come together in a powerful way so that we can not only roar like a lion, but so that we can collectively overcome our fears and get through this transformation and onto the winning side for the first time in humanity's history. And that is what we do here on Miracle Monday. We remember that we are here for the grace of miracles and that we are able to even step beyond our 3D reality into that fifth dimensional consciousness by knowing that miracles are possible for me, for you, and for each and every one of us. And so, guys, I'm just so happy to see you and welcome to all of us. Cookie Monster, we're glad to see you. Everyone, just let us know. Let's start the game. Let's start this, I say game. Let's start this show tonight like really new again, with our hearts open and really ready to just let go and trust. Now, how do you trust this process when you are standing at that great divide? When you have been brought to this place and when you look down, you're thousands of feet above or miles above, and somehow you are expected to take this leap, and the leap looks like a leap, okay? And how do you go from here to there, all right? So, Susan, how do you get from here to here? When, there could be miles between it. And so that gap and that leap of faith goes for physical things, material things, your spiritual heart, your relationships, where you're going to travel, and in my case, where I am going to live. So, guys, I am in the process of excavation. I call it I'm being excavated. Boom. Scooped up and removed from this home. And 7 years ago, June 2015, I was told to move to the desert. And I knew one person here in the desert, and I was told to move here. And when I got it, so that I could hear, so that I could hear the voice of my guides, and so that I could hear spirit, I could hear these angels that were communicating with me. And so I trusted that this was the right thing to do. I moved here, and I knew about a year and a half ago that I was going to be moving here, but I had no idea where I was going to go. So a big shovel, 7 years since I moved here. It's almost like a big shovel, big metal shovel, like a dump truck shovel. It's coming in and it's scooping me out of here. Why? Because those 7 years were about molding me as Joan of Angels, molding me so that I could stand here and roar and be fearless for all of us as we move through where we're going. So welcome, everyone. Hey, we are excited. The Lion's Gate is upon us. We are in that time of Leo. We are in that time. We're roaring like a lion. I did have my friend Soul here for a while. We were going out every night under that moon and we were roaring like a lion. So, in honor of our transformation, I'm wearing my crown and putting it on for all to see. And as you can tell, when I have it on, that glitters, it tingles my crown. So guys, I want you, I'm going to show you a process that I learned years ago so that your crown will tingle like mine. Deborah, happy to see you. Christian, happy to see you. Make sure you invite your friends. Cookie Monster's here. Higher Dimension. Deborah Robbins. Susan is here. Well, Tina Marie is in the back. And Joe is here too. Christine is here. And Joan of Angels and Tina Marie. Up and all of your guides and your angels. So, I did a session today for a beautiful, beautiful woman. And she had just done a lot of trainings for people on grief. And that was really her mission on teaching people how to get through grief. And as I was working with her today, I realized that, life after grief, like we're all here to process our emotions, process what no longer serves so we can let it go and then move forward fearlessly. And one of the things about grief is, that fear that you're saying goodbye to your partner of so many years and that loved one, and that fear of not of moving forward without them and basically betraying. So found that very, very interesting. So meanwhile, guys, let me know where you're from. And now let us know how you are feeling. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is it that your heart needs tonight to give you the confidence and the courage to move forward? So I asked my guides and they just told me what I need to do, but I want you to put down what you require to move forward fearlessly and to trust. Trust is such a funny word. When we trust people, we trust the universe, we trust that what we know to be true unfolds in our life. So trust is built on trust. Trust is built on repeated outcomes that are positive, repeated outcomes that prove your point. Like, for instance, I do Miracle Monday every Monday. You could trust me, or up until my move, which comes up in 2 weeks, but you could be trusting me to do Miracle Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific, like I've been doing, because I've been doing that for 7 years. So I know I'm trustworthy. And so in dealing with how can we trust the universe, one thing we're going to start with is trusting ourselves. How can we trust ourselves to do the right thing? So let's start the session off by Mother, Father, God. We are so grateful to be here. We are so grateful to be in the presence of the divine. We are so grateful to know that this too shall pass. And that anything that looks challenging, anything that looks frightening, anything that looks fearful is just literally an illusion placed there by the other side, by the dark, to prevent you from actually trusting that which is your birthright, that which is your brilliance, that which are the ideas that fuel your universe, that which are the downloads you've been receiving. So we ask right now that we literally learn how to trust every cell in our body, every cell in our mind, every cell in our frequency to do what's right for us. Trust our body to have enough oxygen for all the cells. Let's trust our body to circulate the blood, to circulate the neurons, to circulate the lymph, to circulate the healing, to circulate everything in your body so that flow. And what we're doing right now is we're getting that flow going in Florida. We're getting that energy moving round and round and round and round, so that that energy starts moving, so that we no longer can stay in that stuck position, clinging to that rock in fear, breaking down your nails because holy moly, what's going to happen if I let go? What's going to happen for Joan if she lets go and she puts all of her stuff in storage and she moves to some place for 3 months and does not know where she's going after that? Can we trust? Can we trust that home is wherever you are or wherever I am, and that God has us, Source has us in the palm of their hand, and that which is occurring is for your highest good, Lissa, so that we understand and we trust that our higher self has us, that we receive the right instructions so we know wherefore we should be, and that we can open up to that guidance of which we receive. So take a deep breath in and let it all out, going through the roots of your feet and going down, 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 down into the center of the earth. Good. And taking a deep breath in and letting it all out and going down, 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 down. And we welcome our friend Robin to the show. And whoever posted that, the last comment with driftwood, one of the very first places I ever moved from was on a street called Driftwood. And I was living with the love of my life. The man I thought I was going to marry and have 100 children with, not quite 100, but you know what I mean. And the man that I thought was the love of my life. And when I saw that driftwood, I suddenly came back to remember that night when I came home, and I realized he was not coming back. And I realized that the whole relationship was over. And I had to move on, not knowing where I was going to go. And the funniest thing is that all day today, I've been thinking of that time. And I woke up thinking, where did I go when I left Driftwood? And at first I couldn't remember. I literally had to go back in time, 50 years ago, back in time when my heart was broken on Driftwood. And had I known that, 50 years later, you get to see a perspective, guys, that everything that unfolded was not just for my highest good, but brought me everything I asked for and more, because I followed the voice of the guidance. And so everything we do on this show and on this Miracle Monday is to allow you to step into that ethereal driftingness, that new place of confidence and believing in who you are. All right, always say hello to the UK, home not only of charity, but of my daughter. So we'll send blessings that way to the UK. Blessings all around the world. Blessings that we collectively move out of the stuck position that humanity is in right now as we recover from the horror of the last few years, and we start to once again trust our bodies, trust our mind, trust our own internal resources to know who we are and where we are going personally and collectively, because now more than ever, we know that this thing called unity consciousness keeps us together and keeps us sane and raises that vibration. So now, okay. My guides just gave me some information that we'll be sharing with you in a second. But they said, can you move forward and pull a card for everyone? So this is our collective card, our collective message. And the first deck I grabbed was called the Sacred Traveler. We are all travelers here. No one has a permanent, we don't live here permanently, guys. There's what we call our lifespan when we're here in our physical body. We then drop our physical body and we get granted another body and a time in between where we get to restore our consciousness, where we get to look at what we did right and how we were this lifetime. So many people are afraid of that, but I say don't be afraid, because And we can start to understand it now. We can start to look at and go, is our heart as light as a feather? And because that's the way we get to heaven, guys. And that's the way we get through this wheel of reincarnation so we can go back home, is when our heart is as light as a feather. And our heart is as light as a feather if we don't hold back, if we don't have regret, if we don't have shame, if we don't have guilt, if we don't have trauma. Well, we all have those things, but if we don't focus on it, if we focus on moving forward, if we focus on, yes, that was challenging, but tomorrow's a new day. And I know that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and my life will begin to unfold in a conscious manner because I say that it is so. And it is so, Kathy, who has stars around you, who understands that we walk we're in fifth dimensional bodies trying to conform in a 3D form. And can you imagine an angel trying to put their form, that vibration into this body of mine or yours? How literally painful it is to shrink your contractions to come down here. So we are just expanding. We are expanding so we can fill ourselves with so much light and so much love and so much understanding that these messages we hear are for us to act upon. They're for our higher good. They're to help us navigate in a telepathic way, because you don't have anyone, verbalizing. Unless you hear your guides really loud and clear, you're receiving this information that is meant to be guided. Yes, and life gets better every day in every way. So my affirmation has always been every day. In every way, we're getting better and better. We're getting healthier. I am getting stronger. Our light is shining. You guys, I'll tell you one other thing I've noticed. I really appreciate you've been sharing out our shows on Facebook and on YouTube. I appreciate that so much, because every time Tina and I go live, when the more vibration, we can tell by the vibrational frequency we feel, it gets reflected back to us, and then it expands whatever it is we are talking about. I say we because sometimes I can sort of see what's on her mind when she puts a comment or two in the back room here. But you can trust that Tina Marie is sitting back there raising the vibrational frequency. And she's literally, I'm speaking for her. She'll tell me if I'm wrong. She'll write a comment. She'll say, no, Joan, that's not the way it is. But she's in the back and she's in her own zone. I would say that she's in a fifth dimensional and above zone, with her hands like going like this and putting the comments up and playing with it as if she was at, in the old days when I was a girl. We had real operators. You'd call your friend, and an operator who was sitting in front of a switchboard would pick up. Operator speaking, how may I help you? And then you say, I'd like to speak to my friend Paula Sternberg. You didn't need to know her number. The operator would say, one moment, please. Did you know that Paula's brother had the flu? And you'd go, no, I didn't. But the operator would always know first. But we had these switchboards. And that's how things work in these little switchboards. So we want to connect those little switchboards over there. And so Tina Marie is back there literally working the energy, right? And she is guided. And I don't know where was the switchboard kind of close, Tina Marie? We've never talked about it, she and I, about what goes on for her back there. But that is the feeling that I get. And, she's our unseen angel who actually is being channeled by many of your angels and guides are actually back there whistling to her and prompting her. All right, now we have Joe. I want to understand, what are you waiting for on 8/8? Oh, 8/8/2022. Well, 8/8/2022, guys, isn't that interesting? What an interesting date. 8 and 8 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So it's also a 22 day. So it's like 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. And what is 2 but the energy of mastery? It's the energy of a Lion's Gate. It's the energy of restoring your confidence to roar like a lion, to shut out the sound of anyone who seeks to try to tame you. Okay, you cannot tame a lion that is about to roar and do their chest. So if you're home now, I want you to start to thump on your chest. And you know, when you're thumping on your chest, right here on your sternum, I might as well add a little of my medical stuff with you. You might as well tap your sternum, get it going really good. Your thymus, your hormones down here, get it really pumping so your energy moves. All right, Tina Marie is untamable. Who here is untamable? You know, who here has a life purpose, that's self-expression, that's exploration and development, but that literally hears a voice or a drummer that shares with you the direction that you're going in, and that actually really believes in your own voice, sometimes even more than the voice of, say, the others, those that you might read in the newspaper or see on television or hear from, you know, the government. So that is choosing your own inner guidance. And as long as I say it's for the highest good of all concerned, we can say yes to that. All right, so what's the card that I pulled? Didn't I talk about bridges? Yes, I started tonight by talking about bridges, you know, that we need to cross that bridge. And I even said tonight was about crossing the bridge to get to where we're going. So the card I pulled out is called Crossing Bridges. It's time for healing. It's time for connecting. It's time for mending. It's time for releasing. So right now, all together, give me a second. As they actually literally are showing me what we are doing. And this is a process that even if you are listening to this a day from now, a year from now, a century from now, a lifetime from now, past life from now, future life, wherever you may be, my honeys, let's imagine this together. I want you to see us all together on a huge rainbow bridge. And I think that we can, each of us, using our creative imagination, really see that bridge. So can you see that bridge in your mind's eye? Maybe it's hot pink and gorgeous orange and yellow and blue and golden. And this bridge stretches all the way from where we all are collectively. So it's funny, I'm envisioning the Brooklyn Bridge because I grew up around the Brooklyn Bridge. And the Brooklyn Bridge actually had a place where it went up. I think it's the Brooklyn Bridge. So, you know, when a boat or a ship would go under, the bridge would open like this. So if the bridge opened like this and you were on the side, you couldn't get across. So I want you to all imagine that the bridge came up. This is the other side. I may have to have things to show it. So this is the other side. Here's where we are. And there's a big platform here. It's a horizontal platform. And this horizontal platform can hold millions of us. Just so you know, millions of us humans, along with hundreds of millions of our guides, our angels, our departed loved ones. And they are all here with us because they have been waiting for us to cross over this bridge. They have been waiting for humanity, both personally and collectively, to take the leap from this platform that's right up here to get to the other side that's over here, if I haven't forgotten where we are, okay? So collectively, guys, we are sitting on the top of the bridge that came up to allow the boats in. And there's a beautiful horizontal platform. And thousands of us, millions of us are standing up here, receiving that celestial energy from our guides, from our angels. The whole team is here. So dearest ones, right now, imagining right now overhead, your guides, your angels are sending energy down right now through that celestial antenna. So taking your hands, and at the very beginning, I said that I was going to show you how to really open your crown so you can feel that energy. So rubbing your hands together really fast to bring up that vibration. And yes, sharing this out with your friends can literally save their lives. So feeling that energy here. And we start by doing a motion that's counterclockwise on your left hand, asking right now that we be open to receive the energy, the information, the downloads, the rise in vibratory frequency that will allow us to rise up. So we do it on the left. We then ask to open up on the right and going again counterclockwise, round and round, opening this chakra in your palm so that you can receive that information and those energies, and also counterclockwise on your crown. Counterclockwise on your crown, opening that up so you can literally feel this energy beginning to pour down. And if you've ever seen that ship Beam Me Up, I'm seeing Star Trek now when they're talking Beam Me Up, Scotty, and you would see a beam of light coming down into that transformer room, and then they disappear and reappear. But it's that tingling. It's as if you have a beam of light. Maybe it is beaming you up. I don't know, but it is actually changing your cell structure. And it's connecting that top of your antenna to your collective, your spiritual tribe, that collective of which we're all a part of. So now feeling and taking a deep breath in, and right now feeling that there is now a discharge of energy from the celestial realms coming down through that portal as my ears are on fire, coming through this crown and activating every cell in your body. And as you're standing there, you're feeling literally. So they're showing me that this movement forward is not actually as hard as we think it is. They're not actually, because you're not going to be doing it on your own power. We have the help of our angels. And so right now, as they're starting to connect to your antenna, and literally, so on one hand, it's as if they're pulling you up by a fishnet or a fishing hook or a line that can pull you up and help lift you. And at the same time, they're showing me to put your attention on your feet. Now, imagining that the shoes that you are wearing have wings on either side, wings on the front, the back, and either side. And those wings are truly meant that when we take this leap, not only that do they cause you to leap up, but that which is holding you here will help pull you off to the other side. So Spirit wants you to know, my loved ones, that this is really a piece of cake, that we've got you, that there's nothing scary about that. And what is on the other side except that which you have been dreaming about? So we ask right now, as we're pulling you up here, and as your shoes, those beautiful soles on the bottom, Paul Simon, they used to have this song, she's got wings on the soles of her feet, wings on the soles of your feet, my friend, that are lifting us up and literally transporting us, because what is on that other side is that which you have been dreaming about, that which you have been asking the universe to reveal to you, to gift to you, to hold up to you, to manifest in that relationship for you that is completely complete and whole and separate from everything that you had to do to get on that bridge and on this platform. So from the moment Spirit starts to lift you and lift you and lift you until suddenly that which you have been dreaming about, that which you have held in that consciousness becomes that reality, and there you are. So when I say 3, we are going to count. Actually, my guides are saying we are going to count down. We are going to count down all together from 3, knowing that when we arrive on the other side, the angels have us. The fairy realms have us. The vibration has us. And that everything we are meant to do is laid out for us as we manifest that health, that wealth, that freedom that we so seek. So counting down to 2. And as a 2, we start to feel like, oh my goodness, we start to feel our body fill with that roar inside. Whew, that power, that voice. I am. I know. I hold. I do. I am that I am that I am. And all is within my ability to manifest. I manifest that which the mastermind consciousness has ordained that I have chosen this lifetime to do, and so it is. And as we stand there, notice that even if you didn't even know how you got there, but suddenly you are finding yourself here on that other side of the bridge. Who is here on the other side of the bridge with me? Because as I'm looking around, I see a few of you came over with me, and a few of you are still in the air. And a few of you are wondering if in Connecticut you could connect here on Miracle Monday. So we want to share, we want to know that when you trust in these miracles, just like Lori is about to share her good news of finding a place to live. And I actually remember that Miracle Monday, the miracles that she is having, she is watching tonight from her new apartment. And so guys, what is it that you want to see new on this other side? What is it that is new and beautiful? For me, I know I have Mount Shasta for 3 months. I have Telos, the underground city. I have friends up there, and I have a dear friend, Shima, who has been begging me for 4 years to come and visit. So dearest ones, what are we manifesting now? I want to hear along the comments. Tina Marie and I love to see what it is that's on the other side of that bridge. And maybe it's just a feeling. Maybe it's just like, I know I can do this. Or maybe it's knowing that that part of yours that needed healing is being healed now. So, all right. So, every so often I have to breathe as we tune in to what it is that we need to know. So, Lori, we really appreciate it. And guys, we love it when you share your miracles. I happen to know some other people's miracles. New cats, new companions, new babies, new manifestations. Oh, yes, we are happy about that, because when one person manifests, it means that we all can begin to manifest. All right, good. So now, where are we? We're on the other side of that bridge. And that other side of that bridge, today, knowing that from this moment forward, you can't turn back. I wanted you to know that the bridge is a one-way bridge. I didn't tell you this in the beginning, but Spirit wants you to know that you actually can't get to this other side and turn around, because that would require you leaping up to catch that open bridge and going back there. So there is no way to get back. And who would want to? We let go of that old life and we're in the new life. Lori's in her new house. She ain't going back to that old house. She's got a new life in a new energy that is about to manifest. New mission, purpose, place. All right. Who else has a new purpose, a new mission? To be with people I love, the highest life. I am going to see each and every one of you living your bliss, because we are now on that side of bliss. The challenge is, what does bliss look like for you. Now, I know my bliss. My bliss is when I'm teaching. My bliss would be being on a stage with 1 million people in that audience. And those 1 million people are getting healed. And those million people are feeling confident about who they are and why they're here. And they're raising that miracle tower of miracle power so that now we have 1 million souls plus all their guides and angels spreading those miracles across the planet. That is my bliss. What is your bliss? I see charity's bliss. I see heart bliss. I see what other blisses are you guys manifesting. It's very, very clear we cannot leave it up to chance. If you leave it up to chance and you say, I know something has to happen, I'll wait for it to happen, then it might not actually be exactly what you wanted. Like that time that I was gifted a practice and it was in the wrong place, the wrong life. It was the wrong everything. So in actually manifesting, Spirit wants to know, what's your bliss on this side? Maybe your bliss is it feels fertile and productive. It feels lighter over here. I'm not, it could be that maybe you're not sure where you are to go or be, but you certainly can tell that it feels different. So on this side, Diana, let's start affirming I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am happy. Everything is unfolding for my highest good in the highest manner possible in Spirit's timing. And we ask that this timing manifest even in human timing. So as we are working on our healing, we ask to have our vibrations uplifted. We ask to have the energy transmitted. We ask to cut out. And so, Diane, this would be really important as we look through your body, and everyone, we're going to look through it. We're going to take, I have binoculars that I'm packing. It's kind of funny. I was using them the other day. If I was to put my binoculars on and I was to claim that these binoculars are body energy binoculars, they see people's energies, I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm seeing. So I'm sort of creating energetic binoculars to see what we need to clear off. And the first thing I see is shoulders. So letting down, and how do they want me to do it? So what I'm seeing, and one of you is probably going to relate to you maybe even more, is I'm seeing now there used to be something called shoulder pads, and you get these big boxies in women's clothes. I guess they have them in men's too, big boxy shoulder pads. But one of you, or maybe two of you, have shoulder pads that as you're feeling into them, feel like steel, bands of steel. So that when you feel like you want to lift and move forward and spread those wings, there's a feeling of heaviness around. So to that person or people, we're right now actually, and they're telling me that it's also symbolic of the energy that many of you are feeling with the heavy weight of the world on our shoulders. So letting go right now and taking all those shoulder pads, and you can visualize them with me, but Spirit says, no, we can't throw them in the water because they're going to pollute the water. My first thought is, we rip them off and we throw them in the water, because we were by the bridge. But no, Joan, we don't throw them in the water because that pollutes. What do we do with them? So these heavy weights, Spirit wants you to actually literally remove, even if you don't feel them. This is a really good motion on your shoulders, and to start to literally take it off. And if you can remember what a knight in shining armor looks like when they're going to war, they have heavy armor. So Charity, start actually literally removing that armor. All right, as I'm looking even more, I'm now seeing complete suits of armor around some of you, which is because we carry a lot of responsibility. We carry the world on our shoulders. So what we're going to do next, is imagining, and all in our imagination in this fifth dimensional realm, we're going to let go of that heavy weight. No wonder Lori didn't just jump up and said, I reached it on the other side. There's armor, hard to leap and take a leap of faith with that heavy body armor. Okay, so what we're going to do with this body armor, my friends, does anyone else have that body armor you want to lift off? So imagine that we can just unzip it. All right, that's the fastest way. You know, in spirit, we can do it any way we want. So I say, taking your right hand, which is your assertive hand, and going from your pubic bone up, literally unzip it. And then now this heavy armor is very heavy. And so technically you should be standing, not sitting. You should be standing, opening it up so you can literally then take your right foot, see my right foot, and step out, put it on the ground, take your left foot and step out. Oh, they showed me we should have done the arms first, but you got the point. You're going to literally pull your arms out and you're going to step away from that shielding. Now that shielding is that which Spirit says you can put on during the day, but actually that's way too heavy. Nowadays, angels like you have a lighter bodysuit. So let's actually dissolve that suit of armor. You don't need that suit of armor, my honeys. What we do need, though, is that bodysuit, just like your favorite character in Star Trek might wear, you know, or Star Wars. You know, they had these great little suits, one-piece things that clung and, you know, shimmering fabrics. Yes, that's what we wear. So we replace that heavy armor, Huns, with that, you know, literally putting your suit of protection. And this suit of protection, once we got rid of that heavy armor, it's like, how does it feel to get rid of heavy armor? All right. How does that feel to step away from the heavy weight that you were feeling? So you step away and then you actually put on a suit of protection. And we're going to ask this suit of protection to bring back to balance your circulation, balance your lymphatics, balance your nervous system, balance your stress and hormonal system. In other words, we are going to ask it to bring exactly what you need. So imagine wearing clothing, a suit of protection that actually makes you feel better. That actually, as you wear it, in fact, we used to have that. We used to wear clothing that was made of hemp. And hemp is so super healing to your body, whether you take it internally or wear it on your skin. So this is infused with everything you need to feel fabulous. And it's not your heavy oil. So, and Diana, for you, that heavy armor is that house. So you might as well take that house off your back, okay? Just imagine that house is a huge weight, and they're showing me that it's beyond walking out the front door. Okay, so we're going to imagine that the door is as tall as the house, so as high as the roof, a big entryway, and we are literally going to have you break free, push those doors open for you to actually literally escape from there. It's what it's going to take. But that is where that heavy weight and armor is. Whew. All right. So now I imagine I have a blue suit. Yeah. And is it shining? Is it shimmering? How does it feel? Does it feel silky? Does it feel smooth? Does it tingle my skin? Do I feel more intuitive than ever or alive than ever? So pay attention to what fabulous feels like to you. All right. So first we crossed the bridge. Now we're on the other side in our bliss, getting rid of the heavy armor. Now I asked, why didn't we get rid of the heavy armor when we were on the other side of the bridge? And they said, because it's kind of crazy, you had to carry that heavy armor. Well, some of you couldn't, but some of you were able to jump and still had that armor. So now on this side, where things are much more magical, you can just let it go. Okay, just let it go, dissolve it, much like the Wicked Witch of the East in The Wizard of Oz, and Dorothy threw water on her and she melted. Just throw water on your heavy metal and watch it melt. So, I can only tell you that these cards are like looking up your wishes and desires in the yellow pages. So, in the old days, we had yellow pages. And we are having a happy evening. Happy to see Full Spectrum Universe, our friends right here with us. So, valiant courage, take action with passion. So we started off looking at that rainbow bridge and the bridge from our past to our future, and taking that leap of faith to trust that we can make it. And then we talked about the lion's gate and roaring like a lion. And we talked about together, collectively, when the bridge opened, like that bridge I was telling you about, the Brooklyn Bridge, when it goes up to allow a boat to go through. And so here we are on that platform together, raising our frequency so we can take that leap of courage. And then we let go of that heavy, heavy armor we've been wearing. And the card says, take action with passion. Take action with passion. I like the way they have that shun sound. But that too is the next step. Okay, what is your bliss? So I'm looking to see what is our bliss here, guys. Armor be gone, house be gone. We are having an amazing evening because collectively we are letting go of the heavy weight so we can cross that bridge to fearlessly trust. And we're getting back to what is trust. Trust is maybe feeling the fear and doing it anyway. So, my son was in Europe last month, he was in Croatia with his family. And he had decided that he was going to travel in Europe alone for the first time. He was going to leave the family and hop on an airplane and fly to Spain and stay in a hostel and take a train all by himself. And I can tell you that he was actually frightened because he had never done it before. And so he'd keep calling, Mom, I'm nervous, I'm scared. And sometimes when people are scared, they abort the trip. They just say, I'm too scared to do it. But that actually is not what's meant to happen. You are meant, because that fear is actually excitement, that you haven't learned to recognize it as excitement and to trust that it's the fuel to carry you through. So when you feel anxiety about taking a step forward, that's literally that excitement. It's the exact opposite of what you might think. And by the way, it turned out to be one of the best parts of his vacation. He grew up there. He said, Mom, it's like I was adulting. I was with other young people exploring and traveling and partying until 5 a.m. But neither here nor there. It was the process of letting yourself be free, letting yourself do what is going to keep you focused and on your path. So what's the third card that came out? Hold the course. Stay focused on where you're going. So yes, even though I'm terrified about the move, and I shouldn't even use those words, I guess I'm excitedly anxious. Okay. Anxious because I don't know the truth. But as we were jumping across that bridge, I got pretty excited, because the truth is that if freed from this home, I can already feel that my wings are spreading. I can already feel the energy of the new and the energy of the transformation on this side of the bridge. So now it's about holding your focus. And what is the final card for each and every one of you? All right. Each and every one of you. Passion and pleasure. Passion and pleasure. So what's on the bliss side? A lot more passion and a lot more pleasure. And that comes from releasing that fear that literally kept you stuck and held you in check. All right, so raise your hand if you've had an epiphany. I see one, I feel much lighter. Anyone else feeling a difference in your vibrational frequency? Good. Now, I'm going to close my eyes again for a second. And remember, we started with those heavy weights on those shoulder pads. And I'm just looking at the energy. Okay, so those shoulder pads are no longer heavy. What they're showing me is like they're foam now. So foam, is pliable and malleable. And that foam, okay, I was asking, well, do you need to get rid of the foam? And not quite, because that foam could be the padding that's in that new suit of light that you are wearing. So whenever you feel the heaviness of a suit of armor, you are to change that in your mind, like I'm wearing a suit of light. I am wearing my light body. I am in that light frequency. In fact, we're going to cut away anything that's heavy. So looking around at this, all right, so I see the zipper. The zipper is really holding my attention. There's two things about this zipper. When we undo that zipper, okay, you remember you can literally step out of that suit of armor and step into that suit of light. All right. Whew. Okay. Good. Just a little. All right, any more comments? This has been profound, Joan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank all of you for helping the channel grow. In the last month, we gained 500 new subscribers. Thank you so much for sharing me out with your friends and your tribe. Thank you so much for coming online. It's a show. I mean, every Monday, and almost for, many years, I've been doing this show. Now let's talk about the future. I am moving, and this is the last show from the Desert Heart Sanctuary. It's the last show from Desert Hot Springs. It's the last show from this sanctuary that I had. In September, the new show will start, and I'm going to put a post up on my YouTube channel. There's a place for community, and you can give me all your feedback on what you might like in this show, but we're changing things up. I'm going to consult with Tina Marie in the back room, and we're going to talk about what is the next level of evolution. Maybe Miracle Monday will continue the way it is. Maybe Miracle Monday will produce even more miracles than ever. So I'm just so happy about all of you. I really am grateful. We will have a show next Monday. It'll be, I'm going to have Tina run that show for you, and it'll be a great show. All right, now what else do we want to talk about? So, stay focused. Yes, and this is Thursday's show. So on Thursday, we're going to be walking the wisdom path with wisdom teacher Yasmin Ann Fernandez, who I met, who had me speak up in Yucca at the Interfaith Spiritual Center up in Yucca Valley. And one of the things that's interesting about Ann also is that when I had longer hair, you could have used my longer, we would have looked just like sisters in this picture. I think that's kind of cute. You're going to love that show. And I don't have a thumbnail up for you yet, but I'll also be interviewing Geraldine Orozco, who has a hybrid. She has a whole program for hybrid mothers and their hybrid children. So if any of you are hybrids, hybrid mothers, hybrid children, make sure you tune in to that show. And so you can ask your questions. Meanwhile, guys, I just want to say thank you all for being here with me. I'm Joan of Angels. My life's work is about helping you remember who you are and why you're here. It's about helping you step into not just the potential, but the actual reality of who you are and what you are here to do, and the steps and the reality that you are an ascended being who came here with a mission. And your mission is to work with all of us to be a light carrier, to be a light bearer, to help us ascend into these higher frequencies and these higher timelines. And so consider this a show that helps you walk your path and walk your timeline. Walking through Riverside, walking through the valleys, walking, yea, though we walk through the shadow, the valley of death, we will fear no evil. I make up my own lines. It's all I could do because I can never stay within other people's lines. So my work is about helping you remember you're a miracle maker. Your work is about becoming the miracle maker that you are. So like, subscribe, and share. Look for us for all the shows that we've been doing. Check out the other shows. We've got some fantastic things coming on. We're even going to have a show that we did that's going to be translated into Spanish. And I think you'll love that too. All right. So last thing, if you're confused about your health, if you have questions, if you're confused about your happiness, reach out, go to the website, joanofangels.com, and book a 15-minute Q&A with me so that you can get your questions answered. And so it is. All right. I think that's enough for now. I love you all. I will see you soon. I'm very, very grateful for each and every one of you for being with us. And so it is. All right. Ciao for now, everyone. I've always helped people remember who they are and feel into their power, feel into what their gifts and their skills are. I've really helped people let go of what no longer serves them and transform that into fuel for their mastery, for them to shift their life into the positive. The magic happens when you can hear your heart sing. Literally hear your heart sing. I just want you to know you were born for this, that you have everything you need to really do you this lifetime. So let's get started. Let's make magic together. Love you all. Have a blessed and miraculous week. We'll see you all next time.